You know, when most folks think of prison, they just don't see time passing. I mean, it's kind of like every day of life is the same old thing, no hope in anything ever changing. It's meant to break your spirit, make you realize that freedom is impossible, that you're never going outside again. They were psychologically two walls to cut off and extinguish the last vestiges of hope in you. Yet, a few came out to prove that enough creativity, courage, and determination can turn even the safest prison into an opportunity. Their barriers were challenges they saw, and they did not let the system define their fate. So today, let's take a closer look at 5 of the most legendary prison break stories, breakouts so brazen, so brilliant, that they have entered criminal lore and continue to captivate readers to this day. So let's get straight into the nitty-gritty of how they did it, step by step, to understand what made the escape so phenomenal. And before that, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Escape number 1, the Great Escape, Stalag Luft III, World War II. Stalag Luft III was the most secure prison camp built by Nazi Germany during World War II. It was particularly constructed to house Allied airmen, the notorious escapade men. But the Germans underestimated the ingenuity of the men they put behind the bars. The Great Escape is an act of defiance against the enemy, a declaration of having nothing more to say, but that they are not going to be broken. 3 tunnels were to be constructed, named Tom, Dick, and Harry. The logic behind this was that even in case one of the tunnels was found, then other 2 were already moving out in circulation. Prisoners took tools from bed slats, kitchen utensils, and even remachined tin cans. They dug the soil by hiding it in their clothes and spreading it around the camp during exercise. In fact, the tunnel itself was an engineering marvel. Air pumps to keep it well ventilated, even a rail system to move the soil around. March 24, 1944 saw 76 men from the camp using the tunnel to enter the forest beyond. Only 3 of them succeeded in reaching freedom. The rest were recaptured, with 50 being executed to serve as a warning to others. The Great Escape remains in the annals not just for its daring execution, but for the courage and tenacity of the men who risked everything for an opportunity for freedom. Escape number 2, Alcatraz Escape, 1962. Alcatraz, the Rock. A maximum security prison built so securely that no one believed that any human being was capable of escaping from it. But in June 1962, Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers John and Clarence managed to do just that. The 3 men spent months preparing for this very escape. They dug around the air vents with makeshift tools, mostly spoons, in their cells. They made holes large enough so that they could crawl through. The papier-mâché dummy heads constructed of real human hair the prison barbers secured. Their dummies they kept in their beds to hoodwink the night shift guards. On that June 11th night, they crawled out through holes they gouged, up a utility passageway onto the roof, and launched their raft off into the icy waters of San Francisco Bay. But then, of course, what happened next is still a mystery. The official version is that they drowned. Until this moment, nobody was found. During the years, there were many sightings, rumors that men survived. An escape from Alcatraz became legendary not because of the plan itself, but because it led people to wonder, did they actually make it? Escape number 3, the helicopter escape, Pascal Payet. If you're breaking out of jail, why not do it in style? Pascal Payet did just that several times over. Payet was first imprisoned for armed robbery in France, but became infamous worldwide because of his very dramatic helicopter breakouts. In 2001, he made a getaway from a maximum security prison in a hijacked helicopter commandeered by his accomplices. The operation was conducted like military precision, as Payet was taken directly from the courtyard of the prison. This, however, did not end there. Payet escaped once, but became active in orchestrating the helicopter escape of other inmates in 2003. He was recaptured but escaped once again in 2007, again by using a helicopter. Payet's escapes brought into limelight even the vulnerabilities that existed within secure prisons and shocked the authorities to review their security approach. The brashness of helicopter escapes, not once but on repeated occasions, made these some of the most publicized in modern history. Escape number 4, El Chapo Tunnel Escape, 2015. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman is considered one of the most infamous cartel leaders in the notorious Sinaloa cartel. He had in fact escaped from prison once already, but his 2015 break from Altiplano, Mexico's maximum security prison, had all the makings of a Hollywood film. El Chapo escaped through a mile-long tunnel beginning right under his shower. It had lighting, ventilation, and even more impressively, a modified motorcycle on rails for him to ride to get out as fast as possible. The logistics behind the tunnel were stunning. Months went into planning and building, and digging went on with complete silence to avoid being heard. A construction site waited for El Chapo at the end of the tunnel. He emerged and disappeared into the night. What an embarrassment this was for the Mexican government, underneath the power and resources of the El Chapo cartel. It was no longer an escape, but a declaration of power, strategy, and the sway of organized crime. Escape number 5, the Texas 7 2000. December 2007. In one of the most infamous prison breaks in United States history, 7 prisoners managed to break out from the John B. Connally unit in Texas. Forging ahead with their stealthy efforts, they wore the uniforms of the overly powered correctional officers to sneak through and even steal their guns, ammo, and the keys for the prison's vehicle. They wreaked havoc on a crime spree, robbing a sporting goods store of weapons and supplies. They ignited an entire manhunt that took over a month for it to spread across the nation. In the end, 6 of the 7 were caught, and 1 killed himself rather than be returned to jail. The Texas 7 executed an escape that was quite well coordinated. It required delicate planning, manipulation, and a willingness to do whatever it could in order to stay free be held, a chilling reminder of what desperate individuals are capable of. This was not only a case of freedom or recapture. These attempted escapes greatly affected not just the prison security but also the way facilities are run around the world. The Great Escape event made the Germans ensure greater security measures at POW camps. The Alcatraz Escape led to reforms in maximum security institutions and the observation of inmates. Pascal Payet's helicopter rescues prompted no-fly zones above prisons. El Chapo's tunnel escape led to a security overhaul in Mexican prisons, and above all, the Texas 7 highlighted inadequacies in the training of correctional officers and also emergency preparedness. These escapes also entered our popular imagination, spawning books, documentaries, and movies. They have become part of our cultural lore, serving not merely as cautionary tales but as emblems reminding us of our indomitable human spirit. These are no tales of escape, it is a story of resiliency, desperation, and how far people go in impossible situations. Imagine the tension with Allied soldiers crawling through the tunnel without knowing whether they'd be caught or escape. That of course can't be said of Frank Morris, who must have surely felt an adrenaline rush accompanying his terror as he slipped out of his cell in Alcatraz. Pascal Payet must have had quite the audacity looking up at that helicopter getting him, or El Chapo calmly disappearing down a mile-long tunnel. It's in those moments that one really knows how thin the line is between freedom and captivity, between walls and creativity and courage that can knock down even the sturdiest of walls. So if you were in this situation, what would you do? Could you take such risks? These stories aren't invented for today. On real events, the ingenuity, the risks, the consequences of truth. Even the escapes were not affairs of passion, some were faithful or just to catch them. But they remind us of something very crucial about the human spirit, its determination to find a way out, no matter what the cost. And here are 5 of the most dashing and creative prison breaks in history. Each of them marks a testament to human ingenuity, a desire to be free, and the risks people will take when they feel they have nothing left to lose. And out of all those kinds of escapes, which one shocked you the most? Write it in the comments below, and of course don't forget to subscribe with that little notification bell so you can continue to hear more stories about incredibly unbelievable true events. Thanks for watching.